You.
Hey guys, welcome back to a filler episode of Critical Fail Podcast because we have nothing else to do. It's just me and Andrew today. We're going to be answering some questions we came up with in the future, questions you guys come up with.
Yeah, do this. Let's go and subscribe to our channel, and then also comment below questions. We'll also have a Twitter up soon. We'll put that in the description.
Yep.
Anyways, so first up, we made a big made a bit of an oopsie. We did an oopsie.
It's
like Pew News up in here.
Big oop.
We did a big oopsie and started recording this without recording both of these microphones.
And if you've watched episode 2,
that's essentially what we did.
Then you know, based on the description, we lost the original footage of episode 2.
That's exactly what happened now.
Basically, yeah. Although in this case, only one of the microphones was recording.
Yeah,
let's do this.
Let's do this. We're going to go through the same questions. It's going to be awkward for us to do.
Yeah, not that awkward. All right, let's do this.
Okay, so what was your favorite character to play ever?
Honestly, it's probably Timbles the Cleric. He was my first character ever. Because I started a campaign with my friends, which I was the DM, but then they kicked me out of the DM thing, saying that, like, hey, you don't give us enough options. And I was like, all right, I'm fine with that. I get to play more then. So then my friend, one of my other friends became the DM. And since then, it's been a really wild ride.
Yeah, also, if you search up Timbles the Cleric on D&D Beyond, you can get all of his homebrew items. They're all saved on his library, so go download those if you want them.
Yep, so every single homebrew item that's in this campaign that we're doing, Lost Mines of Phandelver, it's on my D&D Beyond account. All you gotta do is search Timbles the Cleric. All one word, by the way.
Yep, okay, cool. For me, it's gotta be Aisling Morningstar, because it's just a fun character. Her deity is Marcus Falafi from the excellent Pathfinder /D&D /whatever show, Thrilling Intent. It's a fun time. She's a stupid class that gets tons of AC, and I feel really bad because my GM has to balance around that, and also all the other players are mad at me. It's fun. It's really fun. Can't wait to play her on Critical Fail. She's fun. What was our other questions we had? What's favorite class?
Honestly, probably the fighter subtype gunslinger.
Yeah.
Because not only, I don't know if it's homebrew or not, but there's a gunsmith aspect to it. Is that homebrew?
I don't know.
I have no idea, but then that's really cool because you can make whatever whatever ranged weapon you want. And you guys remember the Nothic guy that Wyatt got from the Nothic? So that because that creature didn't use its eye beam, which it can use, the eye is still good to make a weapon out of it.
Yeah, we're gonna make a weapon out of it.
Reusable weapon.
It might be a gun.
Yeah.
It might be a staff.
It's probably gonna be a staff.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Might be even like like just a little orb that floats around on your hand, and you just go like fire and it shoots.
Literally, all you do, since it's an eye, the magic kind of I guess the magic is incorporated into the entire thing. So what I could do is just carve out a little bit of it, and then make like a pommel for a sword and put that in the sword hilt. So then the magic courses through the sword. So all you do is point your sword at someone and go like, you get zapped, bro. And then it just...
Accio laser.
Exactly like that. That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's fun.
That'd be awesome, though, if like we all had a little bit of Nothic guy in our swords.
I'm a big fan of Magi from Pathfinder. It's just really fun to play, especially the Bladesinger. It's a third-party archetype. Get half your AC added to your level, and you also have a bunch of other stupid abilities. Also, big fan of the Kineticist archetype, Phantom Blade, because you can have a weapon that is your phantom, or like your subconscious if you want it to like that. It's pretty cool. So, let's see. Got any tips for GMing or DMing, depending on what system you're playing? You know.
Well, I've barely played Pathfinder, and I've never been a GM for that, so I don't know anything about Pathfinder. But I know a lot about D&D. So if any of you guys ever have any questions about it,
up on our Twitter.
Up on our Twitter. I'm gonna keep posting some advice.
Yes.
Maybe some RPG memes. You never know. Definitely RPG memes.
What's your favorite system? You've only played.
System I've played a little bit of Pathfinder. I thought it was way too confusing, so I switched over to D&D.
I'm a fan of Pathfinder. It's
Yeah.
just a lot. There's a lot of customizability with it. There's a lot of really cool classes and subtypes and archetypes and whatever on the D20 PS whatever. It's a website. If you play Pathfinder, you know what it is. It's a lot of really cool stuff for that. It's just really fun. Voice crack.
Whoa.
I don't know why I coughed. I didn't need to cough there. Yeah. Also, Turbulence has been fun for what I've run of it. But like I made it to be fun. So
Yeah, there's like almost no rules, but there's still rules.
there's rules to it, but there's not a lot of rules when it comes to what you can and can't be.
Yeah.
It's made to be broad. It was made to be broad, so you can play it in any scenario. You can play it as a space game if you want. You can play
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Okay, I'm running thin on questions. Uh,
I don't got any questions.
Can you think of some?
No, but all right. So I guess that does it for the filler episode.
No, this is not long enough to be a full episode.
long
Hold
enough.
on.
Dang it. A full episode?
Oh, hey, you do a lot of homebrew stuff, right?
Yeah, I do a ton of homebrew stuff.
What are some of your tips for making semi-balanced homebrew items?
Well, obviously, don't make it too overpowered unless you're a really high level. So, like, if you have like a level 5, I wouldn't give him a legendary. Well, depending on what the legendary does, like my character, Morin, he has, I believe, 1 legendary and a few others. Yeah, I have no idea. I can probably look it up right now. But till then, do you have any other questions?
I was just gonna say I don't do a lot of homebrew stuff for myself, but if you want a homebrew item, I very much suggest asking your GM for help with it, because otherwise it's real bad. I'd say always give your homebrew item some kind of downside.
Yeah.
Like if your homebrew item stops time, maybe have it so that like after you use it, you can't do anything for a certain period of time, or just give it a really long recharge time. I know that at the beginning of one of my favorite campaigns I've ever been in, Journeys of Solara, my character Grim he has a pocket watch that stops time. It had a recharge time of like a whole week.
Nice.
Which it doesn't anymore. It has a 1-day recharge time, and it's super broken. And now we have to reboot the entire game because one of our players left, and that's entirely my fault, and I feel really bad about it. Oof.
All right. So yeah.
Max, come back.
Yeah. So my new character that replaced Renner, if you guys remember him, he was my like monkey person. But I decided that it was too similar.
In the middle of an episode.
In the middle of an episode. That's right. So yeah, I decided that he was too similar to If any of you guys know Dingo Doodles, she made an episode on
several episodes
on D&D, and I decided that Renner was too similar to her character Sips, who was actually very similar. He was also a monkey person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just changed it to Morin. But Morin has a legendary item, a very rare item, a rare item, and an uncommon item. But the uncommon item he found, so it doesn't really count. That yeah, but it's the longsword Talon that was in the cavern where the Nothic was. Yep. But then his armor, Vestments of the Phoenix, it is a scale mail, and it requires attunement. You can cast Firestorm and Fly at will, but so for Fly, you can do it twice per long rest, and you can use it regardless of your level. But the Firestorm, you can do it once per long rest. So there's that kind of limiter on it. But other than that, there's no really downsides to this armor because it does have an armor class of I think 14.
It's
and
just,
then
one of the things where Pathfinder might be different because in Pathfinder you have your armor can inhibit your dexterity score. So like in Pathfinder, if you're going to have a really powerful armor, if you're homebrewing, I'd suggest making it either a really heavy armor or just making it awkward to use and have very high dex. Because like even if you want it to be a light armor that doesn't provide much armor class, just give it some dexterity inhibition. That's just a good call.
Yep. So
like, and also I want to say as a GM myself, If one of your players wants a homebrew item that's not really all that useful in many cases, like something kind of stupid, just let them have it. Like
Yeah.
Grim has a, what is it called? What did I call it? It's
I
a
don't know.
cloak of it it essentially reweaves itself whenever it gets cut. I forget what I called it, but you like, so you could cut into it, cut something out of it, and it would come back. Like that's not all that useful. So I would say if you're GMing, just let your characters have or your players have stuff like that. And
But
even
yeah,
if it is something that has a lot of power, but you wouldn't want to use at any point, like maybe you have like a knife that cuts through dimensions or something, but like you're not gonna use that.
hey, I mean, like, why not?
Like yeah, like why not give it to them just so they can have
Yeah.
that for flavor, you know?
Spicy.
Spice up their character.
Just a little bit.
I would also be. This is just personal preference, but I'm fine with my characters breaking rules on occasion. Like, if they're like, "Hey, I want to do something," and the rules are like, "Well, you can't technically do that, but it's really cool," and it's like, or maybe it's a big character moment. It's like, "Yeah, go ahead, let them do it." Like, I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, and as I said again, I'm looking at all my homebrew creations right now. I got 2 pages. There's like, I don't even know. It's like maybe 20 a page, and there's 2 pages, so that's a lot. That's a lot of
Yeah.
homebrew items. But I'm just gonna tell you guys some of my favorites that I've made, or just should I do just all the weapons that I have?
Just go with some of your favorites, whatever.
Alright.
It doesn't matter.
So I'm gonna do my character's main weapon first. So his main weapon, is called. It's called an ardent enforcer. Most of these stuff I actually got off of Instagram, so like don't judge me if I'm copying anyone. But like, I don't know their account name, so I can't really credit them. But like, if you do find it, they made it. I'm not trying to do anything bad. More like sponsor, kind of.
We're sponsored.
Whoa, we're not sponsored by anything. Sponsor us, I swear to God.
Sponsor us, please. Olive Garden, Gatorade. I don't care. Anyone,
Spicy,
please just
spicy spaghetti.
sponsor us.
Alright.
If you
So
have a
called-
business, please sponsor us. Send us your details at andrewwolfbusiness@gmail.com.
Exactly.
That's ANDREWOLF. Oh, I forgot to mention. I don't think we did it in this take.
What?
That we have our Amazon list up. Did we do this in this take?
So if you guys go to Andrew's Twitch account, you can
Twitch.tv/Andrew Wolf. That's ANDREWOLF.
Yep. So if you go to that, there he actually put a list up there of a bunch of stuff on Amazon that you guys can support us.
You can buy
Yeah.
stuff. We got dice. We got some
Yep.
books. We'll add more stuff.
And it all goes to Andrew.
It
so
goes-
it
it's
well
sent
it
to me,
delivers
and
to
I'll
his.
bring it into.
Yep. It'll deliver to his house, and we can use those things that you buy for us for support, obviously, and we could use it in the campaign. It's gonna be really cool if you guys can support us by doing
And
that.
hey, also, I'm not sure
Maybe.
if
You don't need to
Amazon
do
lets
that,
you
but,
do this.
but we would appreciate it.
It lets you send something, put your name on it, put whatever you want to be credited on it,
Yeah.
and when we first use it in an episode, we'll be like, "Hey, this guy bought us this stuff,
Yep,
and we're gonna give you a big, nice.
This
hey,
new item
thank
was
you."
bought by this person right here.
Yeah, and it
Alright.
will be a good time.
Yeah, we'll credit you in the description. All right, so
Also, you go on my page.
this first weapon is called the Ardent Enforcer. Again, this is someone else's. It is a warhammer. It's very rare and it requires attunement. And actually, for some of these, I did change it up a bit to make it a little bit easier to use. So it deals 1d10 bludgeoning plus 3 fire damage. And you receive a plus 3 bonus with attack rolls made. And as a bonus action, if you make a successful attack against a creature, you can mark them with an infernal rune. This creature has to make a wisdom saving throw, which is a DC 15. On a failure, it is marked. On a success, nothing happens. And when it's marked, it has vulnerability to fire necrotic damage. And you can add a proficiency. And then I believe this next one was nope, that's actually not magic. That's just mundane. All right. And then yeah, so this next one I made, it's called Blackout. It is a long sword, and it was forged by, this is just the description. It's a legendary longsword, requires attunement by a monk. It was forged by a long-forgotten necromancer, and it's an average size with a hilt wrapped in a simple linen cloth. The pommel is a green crystal that can be used as an arcane focus. And then it has 5 charges, and one charge can be used to resurrect a medium-sized corpse within 10 feet of the wielder. And then if you expend all 5 charges, you can either choose to summon like a greater elemental, I guess. Not an elemental.
Undead, I guess.
Yeah, greater undead or something. I'll add a monster thing for greater undead, or you can you can resurrect a huge corpse.
Cool.
And then proficiency and stuff. And then actually, hang on, it seems that the most popular one of mine is actually a race called Awakened Monkey, which is what Renner was. It's got 193 views on it right now. And then that's the most popular one that I've posted so far. So it's literally just a species of monkey that has gained sentience and stands on 2 legs. So you can be any kind of monkey you want, and you have become sentient through the Awakened spell or simpler means, and you basically just have the proficiency and advantage in any roll relating to climbing or balance, which is pretty cool. And then 2 other ones that are pretty good are Forge Master's Might. That one is by the same person. And then Hand Wraps of the Gathering Storm is also pretty cool. But so the Hand Wraps, you probably already know this. Here, no. You guys already know this because I had it in the first episode of what we did.
First 2 episodes.
First 2.5 actually. And then I actually made 2 that go with each other. There's Crimson Defender and Heartseeker. It's an armor and a freaking sword. Alright, now this is my favorite one. It's called Judgment Day. It is a heavy crossbow. And it's just as crossbow heavy. I think that means it's heavy crossbow. It's very rare. It requires attunement by a cleric. And when attuned to a cleric, this crossbow deals an additional 1d8 radiant damage. And for each spell slot above the 3rd, it increases by 1d8. And then when you make a successful attack against undead, demon, or cultists, this weapon deals an extra 1d8 and increases by 18 for each slot above the 4th.
Okay.
Not 18d8. No, that's supposed to say 1d8.
That's pretty cool.
Increases by 1d8 for each slot above the 4th. So basically, if you're a cleric, you're attuned, and you fight an undead.
You win.
You're like, if you're a 9th level cleric, and you basically just kill it instantly. And then you can cast the spell Guiding Bolt on a bolt loaded into the crossbow, so it deals like 1d8, 2d6 radiant damage. That's probably my best ranged weapon.
Yeah. But it's no shoots, and any of you who watched the can understand that reference.
Yeah.
You don't watch until you.
All right. So alright, so this one my brother actually made. It's called Knife of the Forgotten. It is a small stone dagger with a chain strung loosely around the pommel and an amulet made of jade attached to it. And the person wielding the dagger can choose basically to stab themselves in the chest, which effectively kills them instantly. But it loses all of its charges, and the user becomes a zombie that can spew sewage. Basically, they turn into a greater undead. And then that sewage deals 3d6 poison damage, and for every spell slot above the 5th, it increases by 1d6. And after an hour of being a zombie, you have to be in that state for a zombie, or for 1 hour as a zombie. It wears off. The effect wears off, and you return to your normal state unharmed, except for any damage you took as greater undead. And say if you have 43 health, greater undead is probably gonna have around 200 health, maybe. If you take more than 43 health, you die.
Okay.
Or well, not die, but like you're brought down to 0 hit points. Someone has to stabilize you. Yeah, that. It's also thrown.
It's a thrown weapon.
So if you attack someone else, like if you're attuned to it, and you can only be attuned, and like you could, in order to do the zombie thing, you have to be attuned to it. You can only use this once every month this, because that's gonna be a pretty overpowered thing.
That's a fair
thing, yeah.
Fair enough.
And
it's like random crits.
Basically, you have to be attuned. It kills you, turns you into a giant zombie, and then you're back to normal. But if you take more than your health, you're dead. You need to be stabilized. And then I had another character who had a revolver.
Ooh, guns.
Which was pretty good.
Guns.
Which is literally just it deals an extra 1d8 damage. But that character was immortal, and that was the only thing that could kill him. But he was wielding it, so. And that character's over 1,000 years old, so like.
Man, you have
Yeah.
a lot of cool characters. I just have really stupid ones, like Grimlock Kronos. Grimlock
Mm.
Epoch Kronos, that's his full name.
I'm trying to look for another one. There's two more. And guys, so I actually made a huge mistake. So I saw that someone had made a character sheet. I don't know if anyone else has done this yet, but I was looking up some stuff. Actually, no, just kidding. Haha, you fools! I tricked you. Yeah, someone else made this. It's a character sheet for the Grinch. It's hilarious. I think it's by the same person. No, it's not by the same person. By a different person. But if you ever find out who did it, go credit them because again, I don't know who it is. But we're probably not going to use the Grinch in any adventures, just for fun.
Probably not.
And then this is one of my favorites. It's a legendary great axe. It requires attunement by a warlock. It's called the Oculus.
The Oculus Rift.
The Oculus. It's a massive axe forged from a really hard metal. It's the entire length of the thing is 6 feet from top to bottom, and the hilt is wrapped in black leather. The pommel is a large green gemstone carved in the shape of an eye. It's got 10 charges, and you can expend 2 charges in combat to predict what your enemy will do in the next turn, so you can avoid it and run away.
That is kind of broken.
A little bit, but after a long rest, it regains 1d4 charges.
All right.
And then Void Forger is another good one. It's a rare scimitar. It's literally just a hilt.
It's just
made of steel, but it has 20 charges, and you can expend X number of charges to create a blade made of shadow, which lasts for X number of minutes and deals X d4 necrotic damage. And I'm saying X because, like, if you spend, say, 17 charges, then it will last for 17 minutes and deals... Oh, yeah, that's actually really broken. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
I'm going to say it deals, like, 2d6 necrotic damage.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. You got any stories from your tabletop experience? Because I've got.
Oh my god, I got a ton of stories. All right.
Mind if I do one first?
Go for it.
Okay, so in my main campaign with my just my general group, it's called Journeys of Solara. We were doing this. This campaign, or this not a campaign. We're doing an adventure. It was essentially a killer game show, and this is the story of how I essentially dismantled the entire thing. So essentially, the first bit is like kind of like a Jeopardy kind of deal. It's hosted by this guy Delaris Nobel, and he's insane. One of my favorite questions of the thing was what crime, or no, it's how he opened it was. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some questions, and whoever does the one I like the most wins. Not whoever's the most correct. Whoever answers the way I like the most. The final question of that round was, okay, final question, defuse this bomb. And so, here's a fun thing. Grim Kronos has at this point had a plus 24 to disable device. So he runs up there completely calm, and it just cuts a single wire, and the bomb is defused. And that's not the worst of it. So it's not the end of it. So after that, there's a little bit of a break, and then he throws in like a mini boss. It's a flail snail. I don't know if you know what this is. And so we roll initiative. One of my characters, Anna Faye. We have each play multiple characters in this campaign. She rolls a I don't remember what she was. She was on top of the turn order. She's a gunslinger. She rolls to attack, gets a crit. So I go look at the muskets. She uses a musket. I look at its stats. Its crit damage is 4d12.
Oh my god.
And so I instant kill. It was like 42 damage or something. Yeah, and we have to end this, but like.
Yep. All right, we're out of time, but
we'll finish. We'll do some more stories next time.
Yeah.
Also,
story time with Andrew and Charlie.
Also, right. Twitter. Follow us.
Yep, Twitter. I will put the info in the description on the next time we post this, which will probably be around Friday.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Friday for you guys, not for me,
Yeah.
because we're probably gonna edit this on Thursday.
Yeah, I'll edit this on Thursday.
All right, that was the end of the filler episode.
Also Friday if you're in the United States area, not like.
So Eastern Standard Time Friday, and we'll see you next time on another episode of
Critical
Fail.